Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Manshreks. I'm your host, Sarah Manshrek.
And I'm the other host, JJ Manshrek. And we're back. We're back for some more. Okay, so I'm excited. We have lots of little stuff, so let's dive right in.
Yes.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I have fewer stories, so you can go first this
All right,
time.
I have, like, I was telling you before we started recording, I have, like, mini stories.
Okay.
But this first one's a legitimate, real story that's, like, it's just crazy. And it's so crazy. Okay. This respectable Australian family man was actually a wanted killer who murdered his parents in Nebraska back in 1958.
What?
There is a guy who lived his entire life, like grew up and had a family and all this stuff. And his family that he raised and loved and took care of in Australia never knew that he came from the United States. And when he was a kid, he killed his parents.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes a neighbor is just a neighbor. Other times he's a wanted international fugitive who killed his own parents back in the 1950s and has been on the run for decades.
Oh my gosh.
This is in New Zealand. DNA identifies this Australian man as an escaped U.S. fugitive. New DNA evidence revealed that a Nebraska teenager who fatally shot his parents in the 1950s then escaped from prison lived out the rest of his life in Australia as a successful businessman, devoted husband, and doting father whose family only learned of his dark past after his death.
Oh my gosh.
They never found him. He broke out of prison, ran away, and so he was living under the name John Damon, but it turns out his name was actually Leslie Arnold, who at 16 years old killed his parents over a dispute about the family car.
Oh.
Yeah. He confessed to the murder and was sentenced to life in prison, but he broke out in 1967. So he spent, like 8 or 9 years in prison. Then he broke out. Then he settled in Chicago, married a divorcee who had 4 daughters less than 6 months after his escape. The fugitive obtained phony identity papers and assumed the name John Damon, and he became a salesman. The U.S. Marshals were hot on his trail. One of the most wanted criminals in the country, but he was just living a normal life like a normal dude. Eventually, he divorced that woman, met another woman in Los Angeles, and began a family with her. And the Damons eventually moved to New Zealand and then to Australia. None of them aware of his criminal past at all. As they began an idyllic lifestyle. Law enforcement eventually tracked Arnold down via genetic genealogy in 2022. He had died over a decade earlier. He died in 2010, but they just found out his DNA was a match for his son. Crazy.
That is just mind-bending.
With the case solved, Arnold's son said he suspected the murders may have been on the killer's mind in the decades after he committed them. So after his death, his son found his Bible and said, there were a lot of highlighted lines about sin, guilt, and forgiveness, he said. I think it weighed on his mind for the rest of his life.
Oh, I just got chills.
Isn't that just like crazy?
Of course it weighed on his mind. He literally was living a double life, and he has that guilt in his past.
It's kind of Jean Valjean, right? From Les Mis. No, he didn't steal bread to save his family or anything.
He didn't do anything honorable.
No. He obviously did a terrible thing. But, who knows? Maybe he reformed his life. He gets out of prison. Yep. But not gets out of prison. Broke out of prison. Ran away. Well, it was a life sentence. He was going to be in there for the rest of his life. And so I'm not arguing that what he did was okay.
No, he murdered his parents.
No, that's horrifying. And breaking out of prison is not good either.
No.
But just interesting, right?
It is very interesting.
Of course he's not going to mention it. But
And one day, son, I killed my parents. Please don't kill me.
Please don't turn me in. But lived out the rest of his life, right? 40-some years, 67 to 2010. That's 43 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm like shocked. He did 43 years, married to the one lady, then divorced, moved to LA, moved to Australia, successful businessman.
I just can't wrap my mind around that.
Man.
Double life. I
thought that was just a crazy story. I was like, oh my gosh. I promise you, story. I have never, I did not murder my parents and move here.
Well, I've met your parents, so I assume they're not murdered unless there's some weird stuff going on. Paid actors that look a lot like you, and the mannerisms are the same.
And then I adopted their name and made a podcast named after it.
This is very strange. All right. So my story is a little less creepy. So a woman walking on a California beach finds an ancient mastodon tooth.
What?
So a
She's,
woman,
like, laying out there on
a
the
woman
beach?
was taking a walk on Memorial Day weekend on a California beach, and she saw something unusual sticking out of the sand, a tooth from an ancient mastodon. But then the fossil vanished, and it took a media blitz and a kind-hearted jogger to find it again. So this woman, Jennifer Shue, found the foot-long tooth sticking out of the sand on Friday
Foot long.
at the mouth of Aptos Creek on Rio Del Mar State Beach in Monterey, California. It was on the side of the creek, and this lady was walking on the other side, and she said, "What's that at your feet?" I kind of looked weird. It was like burnt almost. The woman wasn't sure what she found. She snapped some photos and posted them on Facebook asking for help. Someone who is from the Santa Cruz Museum of Natural History and is a paleontologist commented and said, "That looks like a molar from an adult Pacific mastodon."
What on earth?
It's just, so it was an extremely important find, and so he wanted this woman to call him.
Yeah. Find this thing.
And then they went, so he accompanied her back to the beach, but when they went back to the beach, the tooth was gone.
Oh no.
So they spent a weekend searching, and she sent out a social media request for help to find the artifact, and it made national headlines. So people are out there searching for it, and then one person, a visitor that had been to the museum, a man named Jim Smith, such a generic name, was jogging along the beach, and he saw the picture of the mastodon tooth on the news, and so he stumbled upon it again and found the tooth and donated it to the museum. It's estimated to be about 5 million. It says the age of the tooth isn't clear, but mastodons generally roamed California from about 5 million to 10,000 years ago. So it's a huge age gap.
Yeah, it could be just
so it could be. It says it could be less than 1 million years old, which is relatively new by fossil standards.
How on earth was it not dissolved away though? Like the fact that you find it, like you dig fossils out of the ground because that's where they get preserved. The idea of it being on a beach is like, no, that's silly.
It says the couple of people have said it's common for winter storms to uncover fossils in the region, and it may have washed down to the ocean from higher up.
Wow.
It's only the third find of a locally recorded mastodon fossil. The museum also has another tooth along with a skull that was found by a teenager in the 80s.
Whoa.
It was found in the same creek that empties into the ocean. So it probably runs down from the north.
Like
yeah,
that's where they get stuff melts.
I was like, what? That's crazy. I can't imagine being like going for a walk and then all of a sudden being like, what's that random, like, because she said she thought it looked like something was burnt. She was like, I thought it was like a burnt stone or like burnt, log or something. And oh no, that's a mastodon tooth.
A mastodon tooth.
It's just crazy.
I feel like that is social media being used right. Like
right.
Crowdsourcing big thing, like that's fun to
like
me.
Taking a picture and posting it to your 411 page and being like, hey guys, what do you think this is?
Yeah, and then people actually responding and actually having an answer.
That's a mastodon tooth.
I know totally what that is, and I'm really interested in it. Can you help me find it? I love that.
I just thought it was crazy cool.
That is. I like the way that
it stuck out to me because I was reminded of how Liam lately has been so into finding rocks. Like he literally spends every walk, every time we're out, with his eyes like locked on the ground, and he is looking for everything he can find that looks like it might be worth something or precious or a fancy stone or something, or I think that's a fossil. It's just he gets such a kick out of it. So yeah.
I was trying to figure out how to work in like a Clifford the Big Red Dog joke, like maybe he walked off with the rest of the bones or something, but I couldn't come up with it.
Okay.
I couldn't come up with it organically. So instead I'm going to go to a series of, so these are not really stories, right? They're not news stories. They're just ridiculous things that happen. And if we were sitting on the couch next to each other watching Netflix or whatever, I would be like handing my, like, look at this story and look at this story.
You would do that anyway.
I do. Okay, so first, and actually I'm curious, this harkens back to, do you remember, I think it was like the second episode of this podcast, do you remember the pregnancy burgers that Burger King came out with?
Ugh,
and they had all the weird like flavors, and it was like disgusting.
They were not good.
Okay, so I wonder if you think this is good or not, okay? There's a new TikTok trend. Now, the article starts out by saying, remember, just because it's on the internet does not mean you have to do it. It's TikTok's newest amazing, quote-unquote, craze, the McFlurry hash brown sandwich.
Ew.
They're taking McFlurries, the ice cream, and hash browns and making a sandwich.
No.
Sounds gross, right? Now, what they're comparing it to...
Okay, but I do like different fries in my Frosty. I don't want a hash brown, though.
Right?
Like that... I know that see, my brain knows that hash browns and fries are both greasy. They're both literally cooked in the same fry
potatoes, right?
vat.
but it's different.
Something about a hash brown and a McFlurry just, it's like a bad ice cream cookie sandwich.
It
like,
is. Yep. And that's, it's so funny. They're like, this is what everyone is doing. And then even in the video, there's like some influencer who I've never heard of. I don't know who this person is, but she's like eating it. And the article comments are like, even she doesn't seem to be enjoying it that much. Like this.
It's the gag in the middle for me.
It looks really gross here. Look
That's
at this
nasty. No, that's a hard pass from me.
It does not look good at all. But fries in a Frosty is something you do like.
I don't know what it is about a Frosty though. Like the
different?
chocolate ice cream and the, you know what? I think it's because Wendy's fries are a lot heartier. Like Wendy's fries don't feel as greasy. Like they've got like the skin on and they're like the natural cut or whatever. Wendy's fries are different than McDonald's fries, are different than their McDonald's hash browns. Definitely it just feels different. So I don't know. Like, it's hard to describe. It's probably still disgusting. And you know what? I haven't done it in like 10 years, so I might try it and be like, this is actually kind of gross.
Frosty? Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been. We don't get fast food. No, I can't even remember the last time I went to a fast food restaurant.
Okay, so now here's a series of silly articles. In England, they broke the world record for fastest motorized trash can.
What?
They took a trash can and strapped a go-kart engine onto it and some wheels, and they got up to 55 miles an hour.
Why the heck not?
Because, so that's the whole thing.
Fantastic. Did someone ride in it, at least?
I don't think so. I think to make it go faster.
Did they, in hopes that they would never, ever miss their trash pickup, have to chase the trash truck down and...
So another story, man steals backhoe and drives it for 10 miles to the Illinois airport to catch his flight.
I actually saw that article.
He was in southern Illinois and he was like, I got somewhere to go. So he stole a backhoe.
Did I talk about this story a couple weeks ago?
No. What? Did you?
I feel like I did.
This one is from May 26. So yeah.
Oh no, maybe it was a different type of vehicle.
Yeah, I think it must be a different article.
It has to be a different article, but I swear there was another construction vehicle that was stolen and the guy
stole it to go.
Yeah, he drove it away. It was like he was doing construction work and he drove like a tractor or something or an excavator and just drove it to the airport because he was late. And yeah, I feel like I read a similar story.
That. That's so funny. All right, and my last story, I'm just burning through these because they're all like, there's no story.
Oh yeah,
it's just person does a crazy
thing,
right? But this one, it's like Dukes of Hazzard. Speeding car flies through the air after launching off of a tow truck ramp on a highway in wild video.
What?
They have video emerged of a car in Georgia flying through the air after it launched off the ramp of a tow truck while traveling at a high rate of speed.
Why?
Have you ever been driving in a car and you see those little ramps right on the tow trucks or on the car carriers?
Yeah.
And you're like, I could totally just gun it and ramp off of that. You've never thought that?
No. I'm normal.
The incredible accident was caught on body cam footage. It happened on May 24th while deputies of the Lowndes County Sheriff Office were responding to the scene of a crash along Highway 84. The video begins with police standing to the one side of the highway center median next to a vehicle that appears to have flipped over. They walk towards the wreck. The car can be seen speeding towards a tow truck parked on the other side of the highway. The car then launches itself off the tow truck's lowered ramp and sails through the air before coming to a stop in an upright position. The deputy can be seen sprinting towards the vehicle and heard requesting EMS assistance.
That's no accident.
Well, there was an accident, and that's why the tow truck was there. And then they ramped off of it.
Just why?
Debris is also scattered across the highway. I cannot. So they said the car vaulted around 120 feet over the tow truck after launching off the ramp. While landing, the vehicle hit another car that was traveling along the highway at the same time, causing it to be thrown a further 23 feet after impact. See, now I don't think it's fun anymore.
No, because you've caused injury to other people.
Yeah, ramping your car off, that's fun. That's crazy. That's silly and goofy. But now you're hitting other cars, and it's like, oh, no.
There could be casualties here.
It was uncertain whether the driver of the second vehicle will face any charges. I assume absolutely he will. You can't drive like that.
Wow.
Yeah, they drove the vehicle. The car managed to land upright, and it is in bad shape.
Oh, of course it is.
Oh, man, those pictures. But yeah, they caught body cam video of this happening.
I can't imagine being an officer responding to an accident and then see that happen. Like, what the heck were you thinking, man? Were you thinking?
Probably
How much marijuana
not
did
if you're
you smoke?
ramping off of a tow truck. I mean, you have not, you think up to the moment your car is in the air, and then you go, oh, I have to think about what happens next.
And this is why I've never considered doing something like that, because all I can see is the outcome.
Yeah, that's pretty bad idea. Are you ready for Sponsor Your Life?
I am. So this past week, I guess it was last week now, we went to downtown Midland for their Memorial Day parade.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. We got together with
fun.
some people that we know from church, and they invited us over to their house, and we had a fun cookout at their
That was so
their
much
house.
fun. Yeah,
and
they cooked pizzas.
Yeah, they have a really cool outdoor
Like
pizza oven.
A wood burning
Legitimately,
yeah.
Cooked wood-fired pizza, which was nice, thin crust, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a fun time going to the parade. Kids love going to parades, and
oh my gosh, they did, and it was a good parade. It had
It was.
lots of different variety of floats, lots of good candy. Everybody was acting, like the people around us
was
were
fun.
nice. It was good.
yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah, and not too hot, not too.
No, it was early in the week enough that it wasn't too terribly hot yet. So
I'll tell you, this last week was a scorcher. It was like 90 multiple times, and it was so stinking hot. And our house does not have air conditioning. Well, we do. We have a little unit thing, but it's not every room of the
not
house.
central
Yeah,
AC.
yeah. And so the church is still getting their air conditioning installed, and so it's almost ready. They got like one more electrical breaker thing that they have to install, and then we'll have AC. But I have been in places that have AC during the week, and I gotta say that is sponsoring my life. It is so stinking hot out, and like it was last week. It's not so bad right now.
you also just have a lower tolerance for sweating. Like
I do. I don't.
you sweat really easily, and
I
you
do.
complain about it a lot. So
Yes, I love my AC. AC is sponsoring my life. You don't really think about how awesome it is until it's not available everywhere you go, right? Like I guess I have had AC everywhere I go for so long, and then it was like the church doesn't have AC yet, and it was like, oh my gosh, I really miss AC. Like it's definitely sponsoring my life. It's not bad, like you said. Like it's not bad now. Like it's actually quite pleasant.
it's cool out today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, but no, when you need it, AC is definitely a sponsor of my life.
Nice. Nice.
All right, you ready for our game?
I can be. I don't know that I'm as pleased with my selections this time.
What? Don't be downing on yourself.
I know it was a little bit lacking, but anyways, how many did you choose this time?
I chose a whole bunch.
Okay.
I find a vein and then I go for it.
See, and my pickings were slim.
So like, let's see. In the past, I've done I got on like an Aerosmith kick, and I just found a bunch of Aerosmith songs. One time, I found country music, and I just found a bunch of those. Anyways, listeners, you can probably tell it is time for another round of Playlist Puzzles. This is a classic game. We've played it a whole bunch of times, but if you're just tuning in for the first time, the way this works is we find lyrics, whether they are from 90s contemporary Christian music or 80s love ballads, or really we've kind of expanded past that.
I've expanded a bit.
Like we really just grab lyrics from
Christian
non-Christian
or
artists.
non-Christian.
Exactly. That's just the question. Is this a Christian artist or a non-Christian artist? And we just shared lyrics and make fun of them or poke fun at how vague they can be and that kind of stuff. So, and I found my vein for this week. And so I've got a bunch and you've got a bunch, and I'm excited. I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I think you have less than I do.
I do, yeah.
All right, so this first one, okay, because I just thought this sounded so like a song. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? Take me home.
That's got to be a Christian song.
Yeah, right? Like
Take me home. Jesus, take me home.
Well, I'm sorry. Let me read it again.
Okay.
Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close forever and ever? Take me out and take me home.
Oh, take me out and take me
Sorry,
home.
I didn't want to give you the wrong line.
Oh, well, now that changes
I
things.
don't know. Yeah, it's still pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's non-Christian
Let me
song.
let me just hand you the answer on a platter. You are right. That is Taylor Swift.
It's Taylor Swift. Yeah, I wasn't going to get
It's a
that.
song called Lover.
Oh, okay. Well, admission time. I literally have only listened to Taylor Swift's first album, so anything beyond that I don't really know, and I actually don't really care.
She's like a huge deal
Yeah.
right now. Like she's got this whole tour thing right now.
You know how much I care about things that
Yeah,
are
no,
a huge deal. You literally said to me the other day, Sarah, there's a Mario movie out, and I went, there's a Mario movie
Yeah,
out?
it's the number,
I haven't been to the movie theater in years.
Wait. The story was not, hey, there's a Mario movie out. The story was that Mario movie has been out for months.
Oh, yeah.
And is
I
now
went,
the
there's a
largest
Mario movie?
domestic animated movie that's ever come out. It just beat Frozen.
Let me tell you how much I care.
All right.
Good story.
Sorry, do you want me to do? You go ahead now.
I'll do another one. I'll
right.
do. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I
jeez,
will do
almost
one.
Showed it to you.
Yeah, you almost showed me. All right. So, this is my. So the theme that I went with this time is songs about broken hearts.
Ooh.
So we kind of had an
There's
overarching
a lot
theme.
of Christian stuff for that too.
How can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? Tell me, how can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go around?
Wait, that's pulling on my memory. See, okay, so if I'm recognizing lyrics, that makes me think it's Christian. But there's nothing in there that was specifically Christian. But it feels like it's like Barlow Girl or Super Chick or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I do.
I'm gonna go with Christian. Final answer. No,
No, that's actually an Al Green song.
Al Green,
Yep. Yep, that's not a Christian song.
not Keith Green.
Nope, not.
No,
Oh, Lord, you're beautiful. No, it's not Keith Green.
man.
All right, what do you got?
All right, so I kind of have a similar vibe of just like broken hearts or sadness and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The mistakes I've made that caused pain, I could have done without. All my selfish thoughts and all my pride, the things I hide, you have forgot about.
I'm hearing the music to this song somehow. This has
Really?
got to be a Christian song.
See, that was me with the lyrics, though. You know what I mean? Like on the last
yeah,
one, I thought
yeah.
for sure.
These are all lyrics, JJ.
This, thank you.
I'm going to say Christian song final
Yes,
answer.
it is. Let me give you the next line. They're all behind you. They'll never find you. They're all
on the ocean floor.
on the ocean
Yeah, I figured that
floor.
song sound. It's like I can hear a tune in my head.
Problem is, I gave you the first verse.
Oh,
And that often triggers it. You got to read lyrics from like
yeah,
the middle of a verse.
and not a chorus.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let me give you another one.
Okay.
All right. I think this one's interesting. I don't know this song,
Okay.
but the lyrics. I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. I've got a list of names and yours. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I check it twice, then I check it once, then I check it twice.
That's not a Christian song.
No?
No.
Oh, man. I was hoping with the I rose up from the dead, you know.
Read me the rest of the lyrics.
I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. I've got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I checked it once and then I check it twice. And it's Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift.
Oh, I was going to say I thought I knew the song, but I was thinking of an 80s song, and I don't know Taylor Swift, so.
Nope. Do you remember this album, right? It's off of that one album. I can't remember what it was called.
Like I said, I have never listened to any of her other albums,
She
so.
did that. It was like her like dark one where she was like wearing leather and had snakes and stuff. Reputation maybe was the name of it.
I remember people talking about that album,
Yeah.
but I've never actually listened to any of the songs
Well,
from that.
me neither. But that music video, I think I remember.
Am I to anticipate all the songs from this game being just Taylor Swift songs from you?
Basically, for today's theme, I actually found Audio Adrenaline and Taylor Swift fit nicely.
This is horrifying.
It's a very strange thing, but Audio Adrenaline is from the era of the 90s when Christian music was still unique. And so the lyrics are quirky and weird, like early Newsboys. Then you remember that thing we talked about where like in the early 2000s, they started making most of their money off of the royalties from worship songs.
Yep.
So they watered everything down into the same.
Made it simple,
5
verse, chorus,
metaphors.
verse, chorus.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Audio A was before that. And so all their music is
Nice.
really good and
Okay.
quirky. So, but Taylor Swift has that same kind of
Yeah, I could see that.
singing of your personal life story. So, yes, it's all Audio A and Taylor Swift for me today.
All right, so I'm going to read you some lyrics.
All right.
Does anybody care what's going on? Sometimes I'm numb. Sometimes I'm overcome. Does anybody see what's going on? Do I have to wear my scars like a badge on my arm? For you to see me, I need relief. It's so dark. I
It
have
does.
to
It
scream
sounds
for you
very
to hear
emo. It
me.
makes me think of like.
Do I have
Uber.
to bleed for you to see me? 'Cause I grieve. You're not listening to me. Do I need to scream?
It makes me think of like early aughts, like the early 2000s emo Christian stuff, like Under Oath or.
It is
you
very
know, like-
emo. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That would be a fun one. Would be like punk versus like secular punk.
Christian punk, like
Yeah.
Stellar Car versus.
Yes. I wonder early Hawk Nelson, early Relient K versus like Blink
Green
182.
Day.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
We'll do that next time.
Okay.
I'm
We'll dance
gonna
for
go
confessional in
not
there.
Christian though. I'm gonna go not Christian. No.
You're wrong. It's actually Scream by the band Zoe Girl.
Zoe
Who I
Girl?
never actually listened to.
Oh.
I will admit, I did not listen to a lot of these like super cliche, like
No. I
girl
didn't
power
listen.
Christian band. I didn't. It wasn't my thing.
But because you listen to the mainstream version, or like
A little bit, yeah, I did, but I definitely like. It was hard for me to buy the cheap
knockoff.
versions. My Christian childhood.
There was
my
definitely
Christian
a
childhood version.
time, like I said, in the early 2000s, where like the cool thing for Christians to do was to badly imitate what mainstream
My off-brand
culture-
Christian childhood.
Yes, that's exactly what they were doing. You know, like they just could
Yep.
not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. That totally was a thing, and it was
100%.
not as good. Okay, here we go. The world has plans for my demise, but what they do not see is that a winner is not judged by his smile size, but by the substitute.
Of his smile, of his life. Jesus, you're
sorry.
my substitute.
There is more, yes.
So we're going with the.
The world has plans for my demise. What they don't see is that a winner is not judged by his small size.
Oh, small size. I thought you said small smile.
Small smile. Maybe I did. Maybe I had a typo. No, he's not judged by his small size.
Well, okay, David. Let's say it's a Christian song. Is this your song? Did you write this as
I
a
wrote
small
this, actually,
child
yeah.
who was small Christian boy?
Yep, that's me. No, so the world has plans for my demise. What they don't see is that a winner is not judged by his small size.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Christian song.
Yeah, it is.
What's the
but
song?
I'll give you more of it and see.
Okay,
You
okay.
may not know this one though. I love this song. I love this whole album, but the winner is not judged by his small size, but by the substitute he picks to run the race, and mine's already run. Been beat up, been broken down, nowhere but up when you're face down on the ground. I'm in last place.
Yeah,
If
I
you
don't know
place
this
it on-
song as well.
Oh no, it's Underdog. By,
Yeah, I know the song, but I don't know it that well.
Oh, I just love that. Like we're not judged by our size, but by the substitute you pick to run the race. And mine's already run. You know, Jesus. is the
Yeah,
substitute.
I got that.
Sorry, I just felt I needed
That
to,
was really
to
good.
Christian splain
Thank
it to you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I think I have two more.
Okay.
All right, I want to be your first string. I want to be your aim team. I want to be your end game.
This sounds like a Christian song somehow, like a really cheesy Christian
Doesn't
song.
sound like it's like using old like 80s references.
It does.
I want to be your first string. Oh, and there's an echo. I want to be your first string. I want to be your 18. I want to be your end game.
Okay, well, if there's an echo, there's got to be a CCM song. Like, that's just
That's just how they
cheeseball to
do
the next
stuff.
level.
That sounds like Zoe Girl, doesn't it?
I don't know. I never listened to them. But apparently they're really emo.
Yeah, when you listen to the
I guess. Reading
past
those
that
lyrics out, it made me really
pop-punky
sad.
music, the lyrics get dark.
They did. I'm still going to say Christian song.
Nope, Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh. I should have
The
known.
song is called
You were
Endgame.
alternating T-Swizzle with the others.
I was. I make it kind of. If once you figure that out, it gets too easy.
Wow. That's just. Well, my next one is not Taylor Swift.
Okay.
There's a nice big hint for you. All right. The lights go out all around me. One last candle to keep out the night. And then the darkness surrounds me. I know I'm alive, but I feel like I've died.
Oh my gosh, it's just all emo and dark lyrics this time. I love
I
it.
try to keep warm, but I just grow colder. I feel like I'm slipping away.
It's gotta be. It feels so early 2000s Christian music. Like that was my bread
It's
and
so
butter.
dark.
I loved that stuff when I was in high
I
school.
know. We all did.
The vague like problems as if we were so deep and dark, and it's like, no, your mom just gave you a curfew and said be home. You know, like your life is not dark and candles going out or whatever.
I just had a vision
I
of
need to
you
be-
like journaling by candle. Because your parents wouldn't let you go to the movies with a friend.
That's exactly what happened.
Nobody understands my suffering.
I'm cranky and
Do I have
pubescent.
to scream?
That's- I need to be unique. That's why I have to have the exact same t-shirt, pants, and hairstyle as all my
Nobody
friends.
else accepts my studded belt, except for all of my emo friends.
I just want to go back to middle or high school and just like shake that kid and be like, "You're not unique."
None of you are.
So, oh my gosh, I love the like, just the general angst of it all. And most of the people making the music were like what, early 20s. A
Yeah.
lot of them were teenagers, right? And it's like, what do you know about darkness? Like, what in your life has actually been, you know?
I mean, some people have seen some stuff, and that's pretty sad.
That, well, of course, and you don't actually want that for
No.
Now, what? Who was that actually?
Did you guess,
I
though?
guess Christian. It's gotta be
Christian
Yep.
lyrics. Yeah, that is actually a band that you are probably well familiar with, and
Yep.
you guessed right from the early 2000s. That's Super Chick.
I knew. Yes, I.
This
loved
song just
them.
like, but these lyrics, after all this has passed, I still will remain, and after I've cried my last, there will be beauty from pain.
I love that song. I love that whole album.
Yeah,
my-
I haven't listened to Super Chick in a long
me
time.
neither. What's that? Stand in the Rain. That's like my favorite song
Those are all
of that whole
my lyrics.
era. I have one more for you.
Okay.
Okay. You ready? This is really tricky though. Okay.
Okay, this is Taylor Swift. Final answer.
It's all right. It's a big house with lots.
Oh
and
my
lots of
gosh! Do you want me to sing this song for you?
Table with lots and lots of food. It's a big yard where we can play football. It's a big house. Can you figure this one out?
I feel like it's someone singing about Michael Jackson's estate, and they're just so excited to go there. This is an '80s song, right?
Right, of course. I love this song.
I feel like they played this at like my Sunday school sometimes, and we do like the little football.
We used to do, yeah, and they would go
Motion.
touchdown. Every mission trip, every big. I mean, just it was such a massive hit.
Yes.
I don't know where you lay your head, where you call your home.
So we heard this on the way to church a couple months, like a
Did
month or
we
two ago.
really?
I was singing along to it, and Liam's like, "What is this song?" And I was like,
This is what
"This is
music,
probably my childhood,
Christian music
condensed.
was amazing.
or just really cheesy."
When I saw that, I was like, I have to end with this one. Like that'll be the best.
Classic.
Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This is always fun. We love making this podcast. We hope you enjoy listening. Yeah, hop in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Those are all still there. We're going to start posting on those again someday.
Heavy quotation marks on. We're gonna start posting someday.
Yeah. But, leave us a review, like us, and share it with your friends and whatnot. That helps the algorithm and more people find this goofy Christian, whatever this thing is that we do.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, thanks so much to Music Town for the use of our theme song. That's
Yes.
important.
That is. I love to give credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
You ready for the mom joke of the week?
Yes. Are you ready for the mom joke of the
I'm
week?
probably not.
Okay. All right. What kind of music do chiropractors like?
Bone breaking. I don't know.
Hip hop.
I like that. I like that.
You're welcome.